It will be HOT across the metro.
HOT is right, you guys. We're expecting highs near 100 degrees this afternoon here across Metro Denver, which is why we've issued a Denver 7 Weather Action Day for a heat advisory set to take effect coming up here in about 2 hours, lasting until 8 p.m. This morning, though, all is sunny and mild. We're in the 60s and low 70s, but it'll heat up quickly over the next several hours. As you can see from our hourly planner, by 10 o'clock, we'll already be at 82 degrees. Lunchtime getting to the low 90s here across the metro area, and high 90s to around 100 are expected high temperatures. By 2 o'clock, slight chance for an isolated thunderstorm or two, mainly over our southern mountains into our San Juan and Sangre de Cristo mountain range. Otherwise, it's going to be a mainly dry, partly to mostly cloudy afternoon and evening here across the Front Range and Eastern Plains. Then tonight into early tomorrow morning, we will clear back out, but it's going to be another very hot day on Saturday. High 90s with a better chance for a few isolated thunderstorms, which will help cool things down for the late afternoon and early evening hours. And Micah, some cooler air moves in for the end of the weekend.
I know, we're all looking forward to that.
Yeah.
A few slowdowns on a few of your major roadways at this hour. As you can see, the map's getting pretty colorful there. Westbound I-270 from I-70 to I-25 running you 13 minutes. That's a little bit slower than just a few minutes ago even, and eastbound is at 11 minutes. If you're headed to or from the airport this morning, westbound I-70 from Pena Boulevard to I-25, 17 minutes, eastbound running you 12. I have been keeping an eye on this trouble spot here at I-25 and 6th Avenue. It just cleared off of the map, so I wanted to update you on that. If that's a part of your route this morning, you are good to go there.
Well, we might be cringing at the heat right now, but scientists in Boulder are actually excited about it.
Yeah, Denver 7's Christian Lopez is live where they are launching a unique experiment today, mapping out this heat. Christian, how will they use this information?
Well, the goal is to see what areas are impacted the most by these hot temperatures. So volunteers are using these sensors to collect temperature and humidity information. And Adam Hall here is actually a graduate student at CU Boulder who helped recruit all of the volunteers for this project. What exactly are they doing out there today?
Yeah, so we have a group of volunteers out there driving different routes that we came up with, collecting heat data using these sensors that we got from NOAA and Kappa Strategies. And
what exactly are they doing with the information? What will that be used for?
Yeah, so once we get that data back from Kappa Strategies in about sometime in the fall, that information is going to be used to implement nature climate solutions. So once we've targeted and highlighted the hottest areas of Boulder, we're going to try and implement nature climate solutions, things like tree planting and gardens to try and cool down those areas.
And we were talking about how Colorado is just getting hotter and hotter. What are some of the impacts that this is causing?
Yeah, so extreme heat actually kills more Americans than any other weather event. So it has a lot of health risks. Also, heat is one of the issues, much like any other climate issue, that disproportionately affects certain communities. Low-income communities and community of colors often face extreme heat more than others.
All right, thank you so much, Adam. We appreciate it. Right now, there are about 40 volunteers out and about, and this information collected is going to take about 6 to 8 weeks to process before they get those results back. We're live in Boulder this morning. I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Christian. Well, the extreme heat isn't just on us. It is all over the country. Record-setting temperatures are forecast through the weekend and maybe longer.
4 out of 5 Americans could see temperatures above 90 in the next week. And as we take a live look at New York City this morning, the Big Apple could see its longest streak of 90-plus days in nearly a decade. Right now, it is nearly 80 outside there. It's only, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Philadelphia could also top 100 on Sunday. Here in the West, Phoenix could hit 113 today. Maricopa County has already reported more than 24 heat-related deaths since May. And in Texas, a lack of water has forced ranchers to send cattle to slaughter early.
You can stay up to date on the forecast anytime with our 24/7 weather stream on Denver 7 Plus. Download it to your streaming device for free.
To D.C. now, the Capitol Hill committee investigating the attack on the Capitol is pausing public hearings for the rest of the summer. They'll resume in September, just in time for the final stretch of the midterm election campaigns. The committee's chairman said the investigation will continue because they continue to get new information every day. Committee members plan to release a report on their findings sometime in the fall. The Inspector General for Homeland Security is opening a criminal investigation and calling on the Secret Service to stop its own investigation into those potentially deleted text messages. The House committee says the agency only provided a single text exchange to the department. They're looking at messages that were sent and received by Secret Service personnel between December 2020 and January of 2021. New this morning, we're hearing from a Colorado man who was a former spokesperson for the right-wing militia group, the Oath Keepers. Jason Van Tatenhove of Estes Park testified to the House committee last week. On MSNBC's The 11th Hour with Stephanie Ruhle, he said the hearings are helping combat radical extremism and misinformation.
I think what's happening with the hearings has actually been very beneficial. I mean, having the evidence so front and center that this was all just based on this house of cards made of lies. That hearing that repetition and seeing the proof and hearing from the people that know that the people around Trump, it really, I think, is making a difference.
Van Tatenhove says he has been recognized in public since his testimony and that the reaction has been mostly positive.
Meanwhile, former President Trump has fired back on last night's testimony. In a statement overnight, he called his former aide, Sarah Matthews, a liar and criticized his former Vice President, Mike Pence. He also denied he privately took some responsibility for the riot. Last night, the committee showed never-before-seen video of the former president the day after the riot. These are outtakes from a speech he recorded where he refused to say the rioters broke the law or that the 2020 election was over.
And if you broke the law, you can't say that. Okay, I'll do this. I'm going to do this. Let's go. But this election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over.
You can hear in another clip his daughter Ivanka actually coaching him from the background to say the election had been certified. Meanwhile, we have a full recap of the other top moments from last night's hearing right now on our website, thedenverchannel.com.
Also in our nation's capital, doctors continue to monitor President Biden's health after he tested positive for COVID. The president released a video on Twitter.
I really appreciate your inquiries and your concerns, but I'm doing well.
Personal physician said that Biden is only experiencing mild symptoms like a runny nose, fatigue, and occasional dry cough. The White House isn't sure where he caught the virus. He's resting and taking the antiviral treatment Paxlovid and will stay isolated until at least Tuesday.
Here in Colorado, a small group of protesters gathered at the state capitol last night calling for more transparency from the Denver Police Department. They want police to release body camera footage from the Lodo shooting over the weekend when 6 bystanders were hurt. Police have said they can't do that, though, until their investigation is complete. The group also called for restitution for the victims and the creation of a civilian council to review police actions. Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters turned herself in overnight and was then released on a new arrest warrant for violating the terms of a protection order. Peters sent an email pushing for a recount in her failed bid for Secretary of State, but she's banned from doing that since she was removed as an election official for allegedly tampering with voting equipment. Earlier this month, Peters also violated her bond by traveling out of state. Katie.
Brian, it is 8:08. Sun is shining. Temperatures are in the 70s right now over the metro area. But later on this afternoon, expect a very hot day, a weather action day in place nearing 100 degrees. A few more thunderstorms set to pop up over the weekend. Not as hot as we round out the weekend. I'll take you through the full forecast coming up.
The changes Colorado is making when it comes to monkeypox vaccines for certain groups.
Plus, meet the Colorado women making it their mission to help children orphaned by the war in Ukraine.